first order of business is figure out the new radio. That was John's birthday gift to himself. And it has a nice new big screen for backing up. Even though we travel year-round, summer is my favorite. Plenty of daylight hours to squeeze in, hiking, biking, and whatever comes our way. The plan this summer is to stay west and visit family and friends. So from Southern California, we will stop in South Lake Tahoe for our grandson's high school graduation, Vancouver, Washington to see old friends, Spokane for family, South Dakota for friends, and finally Colorado for more family. Serendipity is what happens in between. It's the people you meet along the way who send us in new directions and new discoveries. We're filling up in Independence at the tribal gas station. And then we're going to head up to Goodale Creek, not to spend the night, but I want to see how Keith is doing there. If the temperatures were cooler, we would stay there, but it's pretty warm down here in the valley. It's in the 90s, and it won't cool off till pretty late. So we'll head up the Sherwin grade and stay up closer to Mammoth. Nice to see Keith. He's doing well. He actually has seems to even be healthier than he was last time. Taking care of his diet and all that kind of stuff. So he's got his gut health going. So that was really good. And now we're off to a cooler campsite. See how flushed I am? Red.
You look radish.
Yeah, and tomatoey. It says 102, but it's not. It's probably 10 degrees cooler than that, but it's still hot. If you're ever down here at Goodale Creek, tell Keith hi for us. He also said that the dentist in Independence, which is a teeny tiny town, he says is really good technician. The rest of this week is just full of stuff we've done a zillion times with you guys on the channel. So probably won't show very much of that. We're going to take a hike up to get some steps in just around the lake at Convict. Got to get some water. And I thought I'd share with you some of the things that I worked on over the last month, some of the projects, because it really was pretty productive. Nobody here yet. I am amazed that we're not being swarmed with insects right now. I guess they just haven't gotten out yet. Here is the washout. Oh yeah, we can make that. Oh, I see. Somebody's got some logs over there. So that was Mitzi and Jeff, and we forgot to get their dog's name.
Uh-oh.
And their dog. It was a Doberman, right?
No, it's a breed of some sort.
It looked like a Doberman.
Mix of some sort.
Yeah, maybe it was a mix. When we meet people out here, they always think, oh, you must run into a lot of people who know who you are. It's like, nope. They may be the only ones the whole summer. So anyway, it's always fun. There is no prettier valley in the Sierra than this one. There probably are, but this is pretty amazing.
Star Trek
especially
Enterprise.
one that's so easy to access. Fishing better in the stream or the lake?
There's quite a few fish in the stream.
Those all from the stream?
Those are from the creek, yeah.
Oh, the creek, yeah. And now the spots are all filled. 2.6 miles. Finally, our hunger aligns with the stop at the Nellie Deli on our way up to 120. We have been here before, but it's been a while because they are usually closed in the winter. And so we're going to stop today because tomorrow's John's birthday, so we're going to celebrate long. It's a mobile gas station. John got carnitas tacos, and I got the vegetarian chili with cornbread. Must have been good because it's all gone. For all of you who are fans of Green Acres, our car, when it starts, it does this sound, and we think it sounds like Oliver.
Oliver.
So every time we start the car, we're reminded of Green Acres.
Is the place to be. Far beloved is the life for me.
Okay, goofball. Let's go. 2-point-some miles up the road, we're going to see if there's a spot at a campground off of Tioga Highway.
Which is the back door to Yosemite.
Which is the back door to Yosemite, for those who don't know, but we're not going to Yosemite.
Uh-oh.
We think we're going to Yosemite in August when our friends get here from New Zealand. They invited us to stay at the place that they're renting. So we'll see how that goes. We're not fans of the crowds in Yosemite in the summertime. There is a great hike up here before you get into the park. It's called Saddlebag Lakes, or Saddlebag Lake, and it's a great little hike. You can make it into a loop, and it's not difficult. Highly recommend it. We are here. Let's see if we can get a spot. It's pretty level. Open, half a mile. Lower Lee Vining Campground. Okay, $28, and so we'll be half of that. And grab a card. We're here like just before the mosquitoes start to come out, and so it's really pretty incredible. It's a beautiful spot. All these aspen. You can hear the creek right down here. This is nice. No bugs. And the kids don't get out of school for another week or two here. So there's not a swarm of campers. There's a noisy bird. I feel like I need a shower really badly. Oh, okay, I want to talk about some of the upgrades that I worked on over the last month while we were home. And I'll do the most recent one, which was the radio, which I said John bought for himself for his birthday present. And the reason we upgraded, well, first of all, if you backtrack, we were not able to get the van we originally ordered. And so the van we did get had the smaller screen, if you're familiar with the Transits. And the one that we replaced when it was back in New Jersey was the only radio that was bigger, had a bigger screen, and was the only one that would fit in the Ford Transit. So John took the van in to have the 10,000 mile service, and then he walked down, while he was waiting, he walked down to Beach Auto Sound, not to be confused with HB Auto Sound. You want to go to Beach Auto Sound if you're in the market for either window tinting, radio, or dash cams. And Tom, the owner there, said that there's a radio that had just come out a month ago, and it worked in the Transit, and so he said, yeah, let's go for it. One of the interesting things that we learned from Tom was that the there's a good reason you might want to get an inside dash cam. Now, Tom did not do this dash cam. It was done back in New Jersey. But he told us two stories. One was a 17-year-old girl that got in an accident that was not her fault. And the guy tried to tell the police that, well, she was on the phone, to try to blame her. Well, she's probably the only 17-year-old in the whole world that didn't have a cell phone. So she said, no, I was not on the phone. I don't have one. And she dumped her purse out and you know, they could see that she did not have a cell phone. So a dash cam would have saved her in that circumstance. And then the other story was a guy that has a business with a fleet of trucks. And he had the inside dash cam put in because he was tired of getting calls from people complaining about his drivers driving in some way. And once he had the cameras put inside the rig, if he got a call like that, he could say, well, you know, thanks for calling. I'll check the dash cam and get back to you. And of course, then there would be a click and they would hang up. So it's a good, you know, it's good for that sort of thing, but also just to protect your rear end in case you have any accident or whatever. The reason we got the dash cam originally is because we saw TD Adventures video. They had an interior dash cam and we saw the refrigerator fall out of their rig. So that was why we did it, just to catch any weird moments. But I'm glad, after hearing Tom's stories, I'm really glad we did it. Okay, now let's move on to the windshield cover. Some of you may recall that I made a windshield cover for our Sprinter van, and now I've finally made one for the Transit. It's time to tackle the windshield cover for the new van. I've had this material for a while and I've been putting it off because it's quite a big job. So the first thing I'm doing is, with this scrim material that I get from Sailrite, I'm going to make a pattern. And one of the things that I learned from the last one is you have to do it in pieces. Unfortunately, you can't just drape it over the whole van. But what I just now learned was that the antenna on this thing unscrews. So I've taken that off, probably keep it off, because it's always blocking our views. So I'm going to get that traced out and then cut out, and then I'll tackle the side panels. News is I was able to get one side from the single piece. So that means I only need to make a mirror image of that side and add it over here on this end. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go try it on the van. But before I do that, I think I'm gonna see if this fabric is wide enough. I think it is. Yes, it is. And I got extra to make other things with. I have a confession. It looks good, except I made a mistake and I sewed these things on the wrong side. So I'll have to rip them out and do that, but that's gonna be tomorrow. This way we can still see outside, but you can't see in, at least during the daytime. They work especially well if you have that ceramic coating on your glass that keeps the heat down inside. So I'm really glad that took a couple of days to get that done. It took me a month to get psyched up to do it, because those aren't necessarily the easiest projects. And luckily the antenna unscrews so I can put it on that way. And this time I streamlined it, and I just used the magnet at the top, and then I have the strap at the bottom. This project I really had to psych myself up for, because it is not easy to make shade things for your passenger and driver doors. It's just a lot of squirreliness because the metal doesn't go all the way around. It gets really, really skinny up here. I decided to do this one in two parts. And so I have it like this. So I have this one as a separate part. And then of course you don't need to do two. This is just for when we're driving and the sun is blaring in the side, because it works on either window. Obviously just reverse it. So I just have one of those, and that's about as good as that one's going to get, at least in my lifetime. The next project that I procrastinated on was a new duvet cover for the van. And I decided to, just like last time, I put an invisible zipper in it, so it makes it easier to get in and out. I had these sheets. I probably got these months ago. I got them at Target on clearance, and they were really, really cheap. But the other one, this set with the stripes on it, I got that from the children's section of bedding because it is much cheaper there, and it's super soft too. That's much cheaper. And then, I don't like it when the pillows keep coming out of the pillowcase. So I put invisible zippers in the edges of these pillowcases as well. And then I had enough of the blue sheet left over after cutting it down a little bit. And so I made them for our baby pillows. And I also put the zippers in these. So that was, I don't know, probably a week's worth of projects. And oh, I made a little screen cover for this hole back here. Put it on Velcro so the bugs don't come in there. That'd be really important in Alaska. That was already done. Oh, and then let me see. Oh, I got these puck lights for either side of the bed. And they just touch on and on. They're just magnetic. And it's just a touch and rechargeable. So that's that. And then another little project. Oh, give me this. I made these little pockets. That's just Velcro. I made these pockets for the remote controls because they're always getting lost. And I made a pocket up there. John will point to it like Vanna White. And that one is for the whatever that's called, the receiver for all the thermometers. Okay. Oh, and because I'm really sensitive to the light, so I need to cover this back end with some black so the light doesn't come through from this panel. So I just put that up there. I'll probably redo that. That was just a towel I had hanging around. And of course, this one over here sticks on there. So the light doesn't come in that way. And I added this little trash can that's for toilet paper. So I can empty that every day.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Well, some people want to know. It takes time to customize a rig for yourself. And it'll be a year in September. And we're still working on it, but it's getting there. It's getting to where it's starting to feel like we have everything and everything in its place and all that. Oh, I forgot one thing. Speaking of oil changes, we want to talk about maintenance on a new rig and the importance of changing your oil frequently in the first maybe 10,000 miles. So let me get out the reports I got from Blackstone. I tried to get John to do this, but he didn't want to. But I will say he follows a YouTube channel called The Oil Geek. So he's into this oily stuff. But we like to change our oil twice as often as they're recommended, and especially when it's new. So we drove across the country. This was last September. Drove across the country, changed the oil in Spokane. And that was back in October. We had 2,800 miles on it. I had mentioned to them in the comments section when you submit your oil sample that it had been sitting for quite a while before the build was complete. And so he comments that shouldn't be a problem with modern engines. And he does comment on the higher levels of aluminum and copper, but that's typical for break-ins. The extra metal should wash out with a few oil changes. Ditto silicone, and no contamination was identified. Follow up next service for an update. And we'll move over to the next one, which was December of last year. And that was somehow I didn't put the oil. I guess I forgot to put the mileage on there, but it was another 2,500 miles. And this one, the metals and silicon had decreased, but he does make a comment down here that you need to keep a close eye on fuel dilution since the low flash point reading shows fuel made up 3% of the sample. And to talk to the dealer if there is a issue there with the oil level on the dipstick. Okay, then we'll go forward to the next one, which was back in March. And in this one, he says, impressive results. After just three oil changes, the bulk of break-in material is gone. So that's why you want to change the oil and get that stuff out that comes from the manufacturing process. Now, we did just have the oil changed again, and I did take a sample, and that is at Blackstone Labs. And If there's anything new by the time this posts, I'll have that back, and I'll put something in here to tell you what the 4th oil change said. So happy to hear about all the improvements in our engine oil, and we'll just keep driving like old goats. I forgot to share with you the other update, which is we got our heater fixed. So now we have hot water and heat. Don't need heat now, but hot water is nice. Ah, look at that nice creek, stream, river, whatever. That's a fair amount of water coming out of the Yosemite. Let's walk down this fisherman's trail. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Where's my hostess cupcake?
It's coming.
Oh.
Lower Vining Campground. Good spot. It was it's $28 or $14 if you have the senior access pass. John says if you're tall, you will hit your head on the porta potty door. Those are good things to know, John.
Inquiring minds.
Yeah. It is a bit dense pack in here, though, if we were crowded. But, of course, there's almost nobody here, so super quiet. We have arrived at Fallen Leaf Campground. We'll stay for 3 nights. We're going to have, since it's John's birthday, we're going to have dinner with the family at a Mexican restaurant in the village, I think. And now I'm making him a chocolate cake, and I'm going to use the Omnia oven, which I haven't used for a while. And I can have cake when we get back. It's a great cake, but they don't carry it all the time. I just happen to have a box in the pantry. I'm not going to use the, I don't think I'm going to make the frosting, though. It uses too much butter. Cake's in there. It says 350. They always tell you to preheat the oven, of course, but you don't have to do it with this. It heats up super fast. And it says 40 to 45 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 30, maybe 25, and then check it with a thermometer. And we have our little stove and a little windscreen. Thank you, Judy. It's a great little stove, by the way. It was ready in 25 minutes.
Wow, yeah.
Maybe even before that. Whoa. What was that? If you guys like birds, this is such an awesome channel. What's it called?
Robert Fuller?
What's the last name?
Fuller?
Robert Fuller?
Disappeared.
There it is, Robert E. Fuller. Is that
Wildlife Films.
Yeah, Wildlife Films. Anyway, these are awesome films on YouTube.
Sometimes love is a river running strong, moving like a wave through a rocky riverbed. Sometimes love is a dancer in the dark, spinning, laughing, twirling through the back door of your heart. And every time I think of you, well, something.
But the boy's pointing out to us, grinding rocks. Look at that.
Every time I try to leave, you're keeping me occupied. I'm losing track of time. Losing
Jordan Fisher.
Strength to carry on. Day breaks and darkness plays. If you ever lag away, the situations in your life.
We've had a front row seat to the growth of our two grandsons. The milestones are bittersweet with the knowledge of how fast they pass, even the challenging teenage years. As a grandparent, we can cheer from the sidelines, sneak in a little extra love when no one's looking, and hope they will believe in themselves as we have believed in them. So where are we going, boys?
We're going to the park,
And what are we going to do at the park?
play basketball, and go on slide and swings and sand.
Blowing like a hurricane right inside of me and you. No blues or avenues take away my stride. When love's standing holding hands right here by my side. So if you wanna take a ride.
That's awesome. So how many times has this one been flown? 4? I didn't really have any place to put toilet paper, but my grandson made me this little holder, and I'm going to use double stick tape or Velcro or something like that to stick it back here. Perfect. Time to head out. Just putting the blocks away, and then we will start heading towards Susanville. And a bike ride we've not done before. So we've had a great week here with family. We're heading to Laufman Campground, and it's at higher elevation. Look at those dogs. They are gonna attack. Oh my gosh. So gross. This is crickets. Oh gosh. Okay, keep going. Oh man. Oh, gross, gross, gross.
Let's do it for this moment.
It's hilarious because we've been here before. I just realized we just came up from that direction instead of that direction. And remember, we parked right next to the outhouse. But maybe this time there will be an open spot for us.
Oh
wait, lots of crickets. I hope they don't get up that high. Yep, Laufman. Here's the last mile. Watch for logging trucks. Looks like they've graded this since we were here last. What was that, do you think? 2 years ago?
Oh, at least, yeah.
No, a couple years ago. We lucked out. Nobody's here. There's site 1, 2. Let's go here because we know that the ones down farther are worse.
Yeah.
We have got a good spot. And this nice couple came in with their trailer, so we moved because we were parked there, and then we moved so they could get in. And did I mention that it's free? It's free. I don't know why the commenters online said that there was great Verizon cell service up here, because there isn't. We have one bar, so I'm glad we have a paper map. Figuring out what we're going to do in the next couple days. This is one of the nicest bike rides we've ever been on. Well, John's AFib event lasted a lot longer than he had told me.